Good morning. I know you probably can't see me very well because I'm up here. Hang on a minute. Let me turn this camera that way. I can see what I'm doing to myself. Oh well. Anyhow, I'm in the kitchen. I wanted to show you people who are running your mouth exactly the kind of food that we've been buying and how it actually works. You're reading the label for one thing, and you're saying, well, there's salt and sugar and stuff like that in the meat. So therefore, there has to be, excuse me, I'm trying to get something out of the sink here I forgot to wash. It's in here. I need it. It was in here. I just had it. I saw it. That is my spatula. I have to have a special spatula. A flat spatula. I got a couple other spatulas that are round on the ends. There it is. I got one spatula that's a flat spatula all the way across. So, okay, I want to demonstrate after I dry this off. See, it's flat all the way across. All the other spatulas I have are rounded on the ends. Therefore, they don't get all the way onto the flat surface of the griddle. I enjoy cooking, home cooking, okay? I enjoy home cooking. When I was growing up, McDonald's basically was the place to go for, cheap fast food. And Burger King used to be less expensive. Alright, let's move this around here a little bit so that, okay, I can move this around here real quick. Well, it's supposed to move. If I untighten it, then it'll move. Okay, I gotta spread out the grease. I mean the oil. I use oil on the I use oil first on the get it hot, and I spread it out on the griddle because this griddle sticks now. It's been sticking for a long time. I called the company that makes it, and they told me to get some kind of a cleaner and put on it with a hot tinder on, and then get this cleaner and put it on it and open up the pores of the griddle, and then of course put oil on it, and then to re-seize it back up. But I can't find that kind of cleaner that they were talking about, that they told me about. Long story short, I just put oil on it, and again, this is the kind of oil that we buy. They blend oil. We don't use straight vegetable oil or corn oil, because if you read on the label, vegetable oil has trans fat. I think it's 2% trans fat. And canola oil, corn oil has No. Oh, I can't remember offhand. I know they have higher counts of oil than does, I think granola oil has 1%, because that's a blend of vegetable and corn. Now, as you can see, I put a handful of couple handfuls of this some fell on the floor here. Couple handfuls of the hash browns, and these are non-cooked hash browns. They're just shredded potatoes that we buy. They're not cooked whatsoever. They're not cooked, pre-cooked. So that's another thing too, is that we've been trying to stay away from all the pre-cooked foods. Why? Because all the pre-cooked foods is made basically with a lot of trans fats and other chemicals that preserve the food to make it last longer. That is not good for your body. That is what is causing people to be overweight. That's what's causing people to be diabetic. That wasn't predisposed to be diabetic. I was predisposed to be diabetic. It ran in my mother's side of the family. My great-grandmother, my mother, and me now. It has nothing to do with how I've been eating and what I've been eating. It has to mostly do with family history. And the fact is, my great-grandmother was a short, skinny woman, and she took insulin. My mother struggled with her weight, and she became a diabetic. Had heart problems, and she just wasn't well. Long story short, here I am. I'm a diabetic. But before I became a diabetic, from the age of 10 till 2009, my sugar was always going low, going low, going low, going low on me. And I would feel this, like I get sweaty, I get weak and lightheaded, and felt like I'm going to pass out. I called my doctor. He says, well, you need to come in when you're having one of those attacks. Well, excuse me, after I eat something, especially peanut butter, I feel better. Well, of course, when I was growing up, it was mostly Reese cups I had, and peanut butter sandwiches, but mostly after I eat a meal, then I felt better. Well, long story short, I want to swing around here and show you the, I already took a picture of the sausage. Now see, here's the sausage that we've been buying at another butcher. Here's the sausage. It has some marbling in it, which is some fat, but it doesn't have a lot of fat. Okay? And then what I do is I take some of this meat and I roll it up into a ball, and then I make a patty out of it. This meat also doesn't have no spices in it. Even though the label says it has spices in it, there's no spices in that meat. There's no spices in that meat whatsoever. So again, I take a handful. So the label says one thing, but the meat is different. Okay, I think they use a unified label that their labeler machine prints out for them. Let me wash my hands off here. Washing my hands off because, you know, my hands was touching meat. Okay, now come over this way to the griddle. And then I'll show you, I'm getting some spices here. I put garlic on it. As soon as I can get the garlic to come out. Sometimes it cakes up a little bit. And then I have to hit it to allspice or seasoned salt. And then I put some basil and I'll put thyme on it. I put basil and then I put oregano on it. My son took a class in JVS. My son took a class in JVS a while back. It's been a while back when he was still in school. He had to go to JVS to finish up getting his credits to graduate. So he took a class in, well, meat handling and butchering and things like that. And he told me, basically, that there's a special spice, sausage spice, that they would put into a blend of spices that they would put into the sausage. But a lot of these Amish butcher, you can get plain sausage and you can get the spicy sausage. And the spicy sausage really isn't all that spicy, like Bob Evans sausage or the other generic store sausages, or the sausages that you buy in a little tube. Well, long story short, this sausage here is regular plain sausage. There's no spices put into it. I add my own sausage, and on top of that, even though it says it has sugar and salt and all that stuff in it that the label says it's in it, long story short, this doesn't even put any fat on the griddle. You know, the other sausage, you'll get grease. Yeah, I would get grease, when I cook it down. It'll get, it'll have grease. And usually there would be grease right now. Let me try to take this camera off of this tripod, and so I can bring the camera over. And to show up close, there is no grease, people. Where is the grease from the sausage? There is no grease coming off this sausage. None. Zilch. No grease coming off this sausage. So, for you who is running your mouth and keep saying that my food is greasy that I get and buy and put in my body, I want you to take it back. But the problem is, you're too proud of yourself. You're too proud of yourself. It's all about you. It's not about anybody else but you. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something good. It's about Jesus Christ with me. I'm putting into my body what I know is good and what is right. Even with the bacon. The bacon that I've been buying, it doesn't have that much fat in it. Or grease. You know, there's not that much grease that comes out of that bacon from the butcher. Why? Because even though the label says one thing, they told me how they butcher it, or how they cure the bacon is just by hanging it in a smokehouse. Every time I ask him, do you have bacon? Do you have bacon? He says, well, usually he don't. But when he does, he says, I have to wait to get it back from the smoker. The smoker. Not a place that injects water and sodium and salt. A smoker. Okay? They might put some salt on the outside of the bacon and then put it in the smoker. That's where all the salt comes from. They don't put it inside the meat like the store-bought bacon, because later on when I get the chance, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison between store-bought bacon and the bacon I've been buying, in order to prove how much grease comes off of my bacon that I've been buying and the store bacon that you can buy. Until then, I have just proven without a shadow of a doubt there is no grease coming off of those sausages. No grease whatsoever. Where's the grease? I got to put some more oil on this griddle so that my hash browns can brown up and the sausage can brown up, because there is no there's not much fat in this sausage, people. And for the person that keeps running your mouth, I want you to take it back. But I know you won't take it back, because you're too full of yourself. You just want to put me and everybody else down and lift yourself up. You even put God and Jesus down in your words that you say. But yet there's somebody standing behind you, patting your back and saying, that isn't how John is. That isn't how... John. Henry Andrews, that's who I'm talking about. And his wife patting him on the back and telling me, that isn't how he really is. That isn't how he really is. Well, if she would wake up and read what he's saying, and I mean really read what he's saying, but I bet she's banned from seeing what he's saying. Because she told me in an email that she's banned from my Facebook. I had never banned her from my Facebook. She can get into my Facebook through her daughter and her sister's Facebook pages. I never banned her. John probably banned her. I never banned her. If he can get into my Facebook when he's not my friend, she can get in my Facebook just the same. Through the back door of going through someone else's Facebook. But I don't want to close it totally off and unfriend Renee's aunt and sister, because then if something happens to her grandparents, she'll probably never know, because last time he was in the hospital, Renee found out through her sister posting something on Facebook. And yet they say, we text you, we call you. It's you that doesn't want to call and text. Well, she is hurt. She is very hurt. She's tired of the BS. She's tired of the backbiting that John Henry Andrews is constantly doing with me. She's tired of it. And so am I. That's why I'm doing this video. In order to prove without a shadow of a doubt the truth, which is what I am a minister of and a prophet of, is the truth. Which is something that is far beyond you, John Henry Andrews, because everything that comes out of your mouth and onto Facebook, everything that comes out of your soul and onto Facebook is a lie, and it's a lie straight from the devil himself. And you know it. You are doing the service of the devil, not Jesus Christ. Because let me tell you something, Joel Osteen is a fake, and nobody's going on my Facebook page and telling me to be quiet and using one of Joel Osteen's comments to do it. Stop riding the fence and try and pretend that there's nothing bad going to happen in this world, that we're living in the kingdom of heaven right now. No, we're not. That is a big fat lie. Jesus Christ is the kingdom of heaven, and only when he comes back to set up his kingdom will there be the kingdom on earth. In the meantime, we are on this earth, we are under the principalities of the evil one, Satan. Not God, not Jesus Christ. And that is who we're constantly fighting against. But when we fight against each other as believers in Jesus Christ, when one believer is saying, I know more, I know better, I'm better than you are, I'm just a Mr. Nice Guy. And well, let me tell you something. That isn't what Jesus wants. He wants a warrior for him. He wants somebody that's going to stand up for him. But when you turn against your brothers, like the Bible says it's going to happen in the last days, that goes to show your true colors. You are not for Jesus Christ, period. And I don't care what anybody behind you patting your back is going to say, because she's wrong too. Because she can't see through those, she can't see the truth through those rose-colored glasses she has on. She takes them off, then maybe she could see the truth. Let the veil from her eyes and her heart and her mind, and maybe she could see the truth. But you got her so fooled. But you don't got everybody fooled. Because Renee's aunt knows also some things isn't right with you. She says, well, it's just a church that you go to. It's the church that you go to. Well, from my understanding, you don't even go to church. So it can't be the church that you belong to. Okay, you told me, well, you're always out riding a motorcycle on Sundays, or going somewhere on Sundays instead of going to church. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to do what Jesus Christ did. He went to the synagogues. He kept the Sabbath. So didn't Paul keep the Sabbath? And there's places in the Bible that says Paul kept the Sabbath and went to the synagogues. Also, Jesus Christ kept the feasts. So didn't Paul keep the feasts? So, you could keep on running your mouth. I know the truth. You want yourself to be looking better than me and anybody else and everybody else, but you're not. And maybe you got lucky this time when that plane crashed a mile away from your home. That was a harbinger if you can't wake up and realize it. Next time, it might not be a mile away. I'm tired of warning you. I'm tired of warning you. And God is tired of warning you also. Wake up before it's too late. Get right with Jesus Christ before it's too late. I gotta get off of here. God bless you.